Hello, I'm with Kobus Van der Zel, and we were talking about many things, and he mentioned something that I didn't know he'd been up to, which is called yoursensei.org. Can you tell me what this strange thing is?
Yes, it flows a little bit out of my book, The Forces of Progress, which I wrote before the financial crisis, and this is a little bit of more of a modern advancement. It's a people accelerator. So when I come to a new client, it's very hard for me to bring all the people to my level without doing a brain download, which you can't do yet. And so for me to do that, I used to just put a physical library of books there and then do the training and record it and give them credits for every hour of training. But then I realized training on its own is not enough. You have to force them to do it. So once you have the goal read, Ellie said only 3% of the people did it. Actually put it into place.
Absolutely.
Then I forced them to put it into place. So what I do is I gave them an A3 diagram. Or they can do a Kaizen event. Those are the two ways that they can do it.
Yeah.
So through an A3, they have to put it into place, identify a problem that the goal applies for or that a certain piece of knowledge applies for. They start with, what are we talking about? What's the current situation? What is the desired state? What's the root cause? And you go through the standard process of A3.
And how do you check that they've done it?
This is part of the yoursensei.org program.
Is somebody who looks at the A3 to see if it's real? Or?
No, they can either upload the A3 or they do it straight in the software. So in the software, they will get the 8 boxes of the A3 and they start filling it in.
That's for the A3 for Kaizen.
We use the same boxes, we just call it a Kaizen. Because if you look at it, the Toyota Way has a page where it talks about the Kaizen, the standard format of it. Yeah. And I looked at that and I said, that's very similar. You describe what's the current situation, what are your goals, what is the root cause analysis, what's your future state, and implementation plan. So I put that in the same type of boxes inside your sensei.
I'm glad we stumbled across that. It's very interesting. I didn't know. And I see you're not one of these dangerous people that mixes in theory, constraints, and lean, right?
I absolutely mixes it. It should be mixed.
Right. Okay. And this thing, you started it wanting to use it for the companies you were turning around, you were working with. Yeah. But you say this thing is open to other organizations, right?
Yes. A company can approach me, or they can just go on a site and they can sign into yoursensei.org, create a login, and then they enter the names of their people. So all of their people are then in the system. And this system, just to be clear, gives you credits for training and then it gives you credits for doing. And there's a certain limit to get your belt. You'll get your yellow belt up to your master black belt. And every Monday, an email goes out to your company only, and it ranks your people by the credits they received last week. So what happens to people behavior is they want to see that they are moving up in the list. And it becomes a competition of people reading books, people doing Kaizens, people doing A3s without me touching it. And that's why I call it a people accelerator. It's on autopilot. In a company in Iowa that I was an interim CEO for last year, the people read 30 books in the first 6 months. And if you think about a few situations that you have done, that's really a lot of book reading in a company. Maybe a few people will read the goal, they'll watch the movie. This is excluding any movies, any training that we've done, just people voluntarily reading books that are on these development tracks that are in your sensei.
How many books are there in the collection?
There are 50 books, but you as a company can go in there and say, I don't like any of these 50 books. I can wipe them all out or delete them and I can put mine in. So you can put your own curriculum in there for your company, and then you can also set the tracks. Operational track, I want this book to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sales track is this, a supply chain track is this. So it's in its infancy, but I think I've been doing it manually. Now at least I've automated it for myself and I'm starting to roll it out to the community.
Okay, so here it is, it's yoursensei.org. Okay, have a look.
Thank you, Philip.